Right, let's get some reaction now. We are joined by Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Social Development, Bridget Masango. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So this is quite the announcement. I mean, the number I'm thinking about, or that we heard from SASSA, it stands out quite a bit, doesn't it? 140,000 SMS notifications that have been sent to beneficiaries. This is for their review. Is SASSA going about this process, in your view, the right way?
Good evening, Naledi, again, and your viewers. You know, the process of verification is, as the CEO says, is a legislative issue that needs to happen. And your last question, to say, is SASSA going about this the right way, is where the concern, or some of the concerns of the Portfolio Committee are emanating from. Because the space or the environment within which these verifications are being conducted is not ready. And when I say it's not ready, I am saying the databases that are being used are outdated. The SASSA staffing, you know, the frontline staff, where people are invited to go to SASSA offices so that they can go and verify that they are still alive, that they are only getting one income, which is the grant, and so on and so forth. Things that need to happen. There is not enough capacity in the frontline offices of SASSA at local level, at local offices level. And that is where, especially now in winter, you are seeing long queues in SASSA offices, because obviously the beneficiaries are panicked, or they are concerned that they may not get their grants. Some of them have already not gotten the grants on the day that is scheduled by SASSA for them to receive grants. And we understand that they have an extra, the fourth day, as they call it, where they are saying that if a person comes then to verify their grant and verify that they are the eligible recipient of a grant, they will then receive their money on the fourth day. And we are saying even that has not been communicated properly to the beneficiaries. So when they go to retail merchants to withdraw their grant and it's not there, a panic kicks in. And so we are saying verifications have to happen, because fraud and corruption has to be rooted out from the grant payment system, but the environment within which it is happening has to be conducive. It cannot disadvantage the eligible grant beneficiaries from getting, for some of them, the only income that they have to actually live on. So Naledi, we are not opposed to we can't be opposed to the verifications. They are legal. It's a legal requirement. We are saying sort out the environment where these conditions or where these verifications must take place.
Yeah, so I mean, the one issue that you've talked about is informing recipients of what exactly it is that they've done, with adding this fourth payment day, for instance. But right. what we heard from that briefing today, Chairperson, is that at this point, there may have been 140,000 SMS notifications, for instance, that are sent out, but no one has had their grants are taken away from them. So no one's been taken off the system, which is quite interesting, because there is a sense that you are almost relying on beneficiaries to step forward and say, yes, well, I'm going to declare that I have extra income. I don't know where, how easily that is going to happen when you've got so many other issues. And we get into the I2 challenges, perhaps it's bank that for after this point. But now we're relying on the public. Yeah.
Right. And even that, one of the issues that SASSA mentioned to us was that, at least mentioned to the National Treasury in their response to the letter that they received about the conditions, is that the contact details of the beneficiaries are not up to date. Like there has to be an aggressive data or contact data purification process. That has not been done. So you send a message to someone who has changed their number, or you send a message to a registered address, to an address where a person has moved from. But also we have people that live in informal settlements who are typically the recipients, the eligible recipients of the grants, just by them, having no other income. And where does that letter go to? To a person who lives in an informal settlement. So there are things that should have been done or should be done alongside the verification or before the verification. But we are not saying that SASSA must move away from doing what the law says. We are saying purify the contact data. We are saying communicate to the beneficiaries that there is now a fourth day, so that when they don't see their grant on the day of the payment that is scheduled, they don't panic. All they do is they go to SASSA. We are saying when they get to SASSA, can they be helped, please? Because the letters, the WhatsApps, the emails that are in hundreds, threatening to go into thousands, that I personally receive and colleagues also receive, are people that say, I received the SMS, those that received them. I immediately went to SASSA offices. The queue was long. I then eventually got there late in the afternoon, and then I was told, no, you are an older person, so come back on Monday, because that is the day that is allocated for older persons. I know, because obviously I find these things out, or I'm close to the situations, to know that the days are allocated, but not all people know, because if I receive my grant on my bank account, I don't have any reason to go to SASSA offices. I just go and withdraw my money. Yep. So I don't know that Monday is only for the older persons. So they go on Monday and find that the queue is so long. And then when they eventually get to the counter, they are told that, oh, no, you needed an affidavit to say 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the communication that is supposed to be smooth for people not to spend days or hours in a day or days in a week trying to just verify themselves should be dealt with, because otherwise we're disadvantaging people that probably don't even have anything to do with fraud or corruption or extra income and so on and so forth. So that is where I think a very tricky balance has to be struck, and fix the environment.
And I mean, one must consider that when we're talking about the elderly or those that are most vulnerable, just getting from one place to another is an incredibly expensive process for them. In the midst of all of that, as you talk about this database that is outdated, contact details list that are outdated, front-facing systems that are outdated, you also need to consider that you also have fraud that is taking place at such a large scale that it took 2 first-year students from Stellenbosch University to be able to see what exactly was going on there, right? You've got criminals who exploit the system using stolen IDs. One would argue it's almost like a bottomless bucket.
Precisely. The cyber crime is so rife, obviously. And as the portfolio committee, our ears are open to hear from the members of the public, like the 2 students that you are referring to, because we are mindful of the fact that we live in an era where cyber fraud is so rife. So we are saying, make sure that the systems are robust enough. They will never be watertight because of cyber fraud, but the levels at which that fraud is finding the systems should be at such a level that, you can see that some efforts have been made to make sure that the system is robust enough. And so we are saying the fraud that is taking place is both internal at SASSA, as the CEO rightly said, and they are following that. They are on the heels of these people that are committing fraud and corruption in SASSA. But also we are aware and mindful that there is also fraud that is outside the SASSA system because of the billions of rands that we are talking about in this budget.
Yeah.
So we are just saying at the end of it all, when everything has been said and done, there are millions of poor and vulnerable people whose grants cannot be lost fall between the cracks while we are trying to sort out the fraud and corruption issue.
Yeah, lots of screws to tighten there, but we really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Ms. Bridget Masango there is the Portfolio Committee Chairperson. That's the Portfolio Committee on Social Development.